Hello everybody. Today I want to present you my newest project. It's adding a SSH server to our standard Iris container. The reason to do this is normally the access to the Docker environment is easy as long as the system is local or as long as you have access to the base system where Docker is running. But if this is remote, then it's quite complicated to get access into the system. So my approach is to provide SSH directly for the Docker. You enter it, and from there you have all the possible options to manage files, to set parameters, and of course also to log in a normal Iris session. How this works you will see immediately.
So I'm now on my command window in running the command line. Docker is started. I have already downloaded the project from GitHub. You see the directory SSH for Iris container. This is the content. Nothing special. Everything is normal. And now I start to build our image. To save keystrokes, I have a shortcut for Docker Compose, which has more than 10 characters. It's just DCC build, and the thing is running on. And you see, first what you have to do is to get an update for our Ubuntu image, which is let's say politely, a little bit aged. And next we can install SSH, open SSH of course, and run the full build, which is and last line here I've seen open. It is running, it is installed. Now Iris is coming into the game. The Iris installation is running. Now it has to do the startup, and immediately we'll move along. We're loading, compiling a few programs from ZPM. Also especially the web terminal, which makes some sense to have access to, and finally return to the user, and you see successfully tagged SSH for Iris container latest. So we've done the build. Now in the next step we start up, and I don't do it to the background to show a little bit the log file as this building. So I have this Docker Compose up without -d. And you see it's starting. SSHD, the server is running. That's the important point. And now we move along. Well, it's taking time. And at a certain point it stops. This is typically the point where Iris is up and running. Of course, in foreground you don't see exactly when it is up, since it doesn't send a message. So we move to our next environment. Okay, you see I've changed a little bit the colors. And now I run a docker and see what containers are running, or eventually dead containers. And you see there is a container SSH for iris. Container iris is the image. The name is underscore iris underscore 1. And the most important point, most interesting to us is here this part in the middle that says the port 22, which is the SSH port of the image, is projected to 4102. So the next action is of course to connect now over SSH into our Docker container. So this is our putty configuration. I have prepared some nice colors. Docker 22 and goes to port 22 by default with SSH, but our port is 41022, and I save it for the next time, and with open it starts immediately a connection to our Docker container. So this is our putty window. I log in as iris owner with the prepared password, which is iris -2104 April, and it connects. You're immediately there, and of course now I want to see if my iris is running, so I call iris view, and I see the instance is running as we have just started. I switch to bash, which is easier to from my fingers, yeah, and take a look to the messages log. User iris manager messages.log, and it runs down dramatically, and by the log we see this was the startup. You see the time and all the security certificates that have expired since not to say ages, since quite a while. Okay, so, and of course at that point I either have access to the files that are all around, let's stay with this directory, iris manager directory. You see this is business as usual. And next I want to go, of course, also in an iris session. So I say iris session, instance is iris, and I want to go into namespace %sys. Here we are. I have set PM. Oops. Available. With list I can show what is already installed. And I see here's the web terminal and also SSH for Arius container, which is the reference that the installation has worked. I quit ZPM and say do set SSH, and it demonstrates that the installation is okay. In addition, we can of course also use web terminal, see the management portal. So I leave this at that point. Also leave the container by exit. Oh, this is now leaving the bash, and then leaving the container as well. Now I've called the system management portal with user system and you know this is all standard. Now you see this is the environment, and there's nothing that gives you any sign that is related to SSH, because this iris itself is not really affected by it. Yeah, let's take a management look, and you see here these are all these certificate issues running, and if we go down we see Iris has started and is up and running and is fine. And now I want also to change to terminal. I have to log in again. So, and now you are in web terminal. And yes, I can again run my ZPM. I can run the list, just as you have seen before. And SSH. Okay. Although I hope this is not too small now, but the content is meanwhile well known. And I quit this, and now the show is over, and I hope you have enjoyed it. Yeah, see you next time.
Now, as you have seen it, I hope you have enjoyed the presentation, and I hope to see you again the next time. And it would be nice if you would vote for this tool, for this presentation and the template that enables you to do the same with your containers. Thank you so much. Bye.